So welcome back, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us here at the New Moon. You know, sometimes when we're not living in our purpose, we question the things that are going on in our lives. We question things because they're not unfolding in quite the way that we would like them to. You know, there's a guy who's trying to take away the misery. He's upset because everything that he's done against the people in the different neighborhoods, stealing money, making people go homeless, all of the horror that he brought to other people has now landed in his lap. People are now looking at him. He was once a leader, but now they're saying, you were not a great leader. How could you do all these great injustices that you did? You are the one that's responsible. So he decides he's going to try to take himself out. The only thing is God is not allowing this, because God wants him to learn from these experiences that he's done. God wants him to make it right. You cannot make certain things right when you're still blaming everyone else, when you have done these great injustices. Now, it might have started in the childhood, but still, the responsibility has got to be accepted on this person's behalf. You know, my journey has not been the easiest journey. Having family members collaborate, try to send people to stalk you and take you out because you left. You left in peace. We leave in peace, but that doesn't necessarily mean that makes it fair to the opposite person. The other person might feel like they've been abandoned. But regardless of what anyone feels or thinks, no one has the right to try to unalive anyone else. You know, I remember going to the Urban League asking for help, going to different various forms of the law. But people start waking up when so many people are being affected. You see, right away, when you decide that you want to complain about something happening, it doesn't necessarily get fixed right away, because research has got to be done. People have got to make sure that what you're saying is the truth. And when it all comes to the surface, you say, wow, why would someone do that to this woman? Why would they do this to various people in different neighborhoods? Greed will do just that. But just know that even though you don't always see the outcome, you don't always see the outcome right away, know that God is still preparing you to heal through the process, as well as preparing different forms of law to get the right answers, to make sure that the injustice is made clear. You know, who knew what type of family I was growing up in? Who knew that various people were connected in areas that we would have ever thought? You know, when we grow up in different families, we have no idea what the beginnings were. We don't know the history behind our ancestral history, We don't know all these things that are happening, but God does. So you pray. When something is not going right, you must separate. Because if you don't separate from the mayhem, you become a part of it. Just like when you're in school and the teacher says, if you see that these children are not behaving themselves, why did you sit in the midst of it? Because if you sit in the midst of it, you become a part of it. Earlier, these girls were TikToking and trying to, I guess, have a fight. And I tried to separate the young ladies from fighting. But it just gave me more confirmation that I don't think I want to go back to temptation. You know, it's more confirmation each time. The last time I went to the thrift shop and a little boy misbehaved. You know, sometimes God will show you different signs that this job or this position or this experience is no longer for you. Sometimes we have to have some experiences to basically put an exclamation point on it. That those experiences were back then. Now it's time to move on to new things, better things. Now, I'm not saying that these children don't need help, but sometimes God will prepare the way. So thank you so much for joining us here. It is so lovely just to be the individual that you are. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day.